we'll figure it out. Last time on Tables and Tops, 4 of you maneuvered through Nezev Monaco's mansion in Zozo. You search for the butler named Midge, who knows the secret pathways throughout the architecture. You rounded hallways on the 2nd floor, passing by locked doors and treading on blood-red carpet. You noticed several masterworks of color, examined a few, and noted the creator accidentally making eye contact with the drawing of a tiger. It pounced from the painting, only to be ripped asunder by Chuman's cutting edges. Entering the library, you headed downstairs. Library, study, whatever. Headed downstairs to meet the 3rd butler, Midge, who was asleep on a pile of books, napping mid-research. Under the careful guidance of the 3 butlers of the house, you were guided into a spandrel tucked away behind a statue. This area beneath the stairs sequestered an alternate flight of steps that led you away from the dangers lurking in the library and to the 3rd floor landing, directly as promised, to the dinner table. Meanwhile, safe and untouched, Xalia and the Raven studied Khorzaire and the Shapeshifter, a heroine from another country in her own right, learned some magic unique to the curriculum of this continent's finest academy. Thus, as Xalia and Merchant King Alma finished their exploration of tomes in the Arcane, topped it off with an exploration of rest and sleep, Pastiche, Twig, Chuman, and Makayla, hearts ablaze, approached a fine and delicious dinner, where it was that the merchant prince Nezev offered them a place and a plan of master design. So the elevator pitch was basically Nezev plans to sell life and souls and make huge buku dollars, and he wants your buy-in on it, and wishes to include you. If only you would add the Emberblade to the plan's total assets. Pastiche demanded to see a certain everlasting visitor before any decision was made, and Nezev nonchalantly led you to see the Maestro Vera herself. Easily disposing of a rogue painting en route, Nezev dispelled a lock on a door, opened it to the group, and there she was, looking not a day older than when you last saw her, Pastiche. I had wondered why it was a bit noisier out there than usual. This beast of a lioness just muses in a husky voice. Her eyes communicate wordlessly while locked with Pastiche's, then flit past them. I see you brought companions. Introduce me to your friends. What would you like to do?
Of course, Vera. This is Makayla, Chuman, and Twig. It's nice to see you.
She smiles.
If you don't mind my asking, what exactly are you doing here?
Painting. What else?
Well, surely you're up to more than that. I mean, you left so long ago without saying a word.
Maestro. Make a persuasion check. Pastiche. The Maestro stands, hulking to her 7 feet of height. These dainty, delicates drape her form. Sheer fabric over opaque threads, keeping her modest. And she waits. Listens. Looks at Nezev. You can see Nezev slowly nodding once. Every while, like once in a while, just tapping his foot once in a while. That awkward minute of silence from when you first met her, and also apparent and on the table. Nobody says a word.
Pastiche will look to Nezev. Mr. Monaco?
Yes, one moment.
Is something the matter?
It's almost time.
Time for what?
Zev takes a quick step back, and I need Makayla, Twig, and Chuman to all make a dexterity saving throw. And Pastiche, since you cannot be surprised, you hear the Leonин's just exquisitely shining jewelry clink gently as she raises her arm. What did we get? 19, a 10, and a 20. The 10 from Chuman. So what happens is there is a whooshing sound and a sucking sound and then it blows out as the desert wolf that leapt at Nezev slurps and swirls back into existence, and it takes up and expands and pushes everyone out of the way. And Twig and Makayla manage to dive out of the way first, and keep their footing. Chuman, you're moved backwards into the hall a bit and stumble, and you're prone is all. As soon as the desert wolf lands its paws on the wood with its claws clinking in with that kind of glassy sound effect, it is immediately shifted into mere paint splatters, splattering everybody with a sandy color. That's the end of the spell existence spell. Just for a few moments. Now then. Pardon me, at least that excitement's over. He just and Nezev taps his cane on the ground. Boop, boop, and appears to relax and stands in a corner. As everyone collects themselves, there are levels her gaze towards you, Pastiche. You were saying?
Well, I was just curious. What exactly brought you out here in the first place?
A commission offer.
Vera, you took plenty of commissions while I was under your tutelage. You didn't just uproot your entire business and leave.
This one was particularly enticing. There's something I've always wanted to paint. As you know, I've been all over Khorzaire from sunset to sunrise. Walking each path, climbing up, climbing down. People come to us, for whatever fancy that they wish painting. Brought several of those floating islands into reality. I've broken ground to capture the abyss as it yawns open in the morning. painted at all, yet there's a piece of Khorzaire that I want to paint. And Merchant Prince Monaco has, one way or another, devised how this can be achieved. That's why. It's taken quite a long time, but looks like we may be nearing the dawn of the masterpiece, so I'm looking forward to it. Everything up until now was preparations, I suppose. Learning, research material. You have to do your due diligence.
Pastiche just pauses for a moment. Sighs. I understand, Vera, but not even a goodbye? You've sent no missives? No attempt to communicate?
Make another persuasion check. She takes another step towards you. Was it not enough that I trusted the business to you? Surely that speaks volumes. The picture of the house, all to yourself, surely is worth more than anything that I could ever speak.
I suppose, but it's not like I was in contact with your usual commissioners. I didn't know what to do with the place all on my own. I wasn't ready.
Make another persuasion check. Well, I'll explain just a bit more. As you might have learned, if you had paid sufficient attention during your apprenticeship, I cannot paint people. I'm a landscape artist. Zozo Academy, I painted its halls. The floating islands, painted them. The waterfalls of sand. Everyone, there's a reason for it. Everyone I paint has perished. See, there's a silent understanding between artist and subject that the painting itself will outlive both the subject and this artist. Neves... Pardon me. Nezev is the exception. Curious phenomenon took place, and I knew that the plan that he might have put together was certainly enticing enough to head out right away and answer a particular question that I've always had. The answer that escaped this continent many years ago, probably when this one, and she gestures to Makayla, the little clinking jewelry. Probably when this one was born. That answer's trampled now beneath the rot of soulless husks. Pastiche, you've been by my side for quite some time. Surely you you know this question that I seek to answer? This question of artistic reality. But I must know that Nezev has promised an answer in a roundabout way. Tell me you know. Tell me you understand. Like I understood you.
Pastiche trembles a bit, struggles to maintain eye contact.
She's suddenly in your face. Bending down. Her nose is almost touching. Almost.
I'm terribly sorry, I'm not sure I do.
Does art imitate life? Or death?
Pastiche just sort of looks to Nezev.
He gives you a wink.
Well, life, of course. We cannot know death. And so how could we imitate it?
She moves back and turns around and whisks a paintbrush from a cup. And yet, I'm not so sure. That's why I need to know. There's something at the end of all this that I would like to paint. And I think that once I get to painting it, I'll know the answer. One way or another. And sorry, Pastiche, that's why I had to leave.
Surely you don't mean yourself.
Make a persuasion check. She doesn't say anything, but she replaces the paintbrush back in the cup.
Pastiche just locks eyes with Nezev again, gives him a quizzical look. And you're okay with this?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm okay with what? Yes, I'm okay with whatever she does. She's very important. At this time, there's some jostling from the hall. Twig and Chuman, you feel somebody brush past you, and there's a floating pair of glasses. And you hear, "Hey, boss." Hey, boss. Come here. I have an update. Oh. Please. Excuse me. My associates need me. And Nezev walks past, twirls his cane once, and follows the invisible pair of glasses, or follows the floating pair of glasses. Yes? How may I help you?
Once...
Actually, they
Let's
probably
have this. Once Nezev is sort of like away and out of earshot, Makayla would sort of pipe up from behind Pastiche and say, Your goal, your wish, you'd be willing to work with a man trying to monetize immortality in order to achieve it.
I've worked for... How can I put this? I've worked for worse. I work for those that wish to monetize mortality. At a point, other things other than your hope and your dream mean less. There's only one thing that matters to this artist. You could say it determines nearly everything else.
Then I take it you'll be staying here.
Not for long. We'll be moving soon. Hasn't told me directly, but I imagine it'll tell me soon. Those butlers never stop yapping about the plan. We'll be moving to Cyril soon. There's something up there. And up there is my preferred place, as you know.
To Cyril?
At the top.
Pastiche will look back to Makayla.
Phoenix's nest.
I believe we have reason to be there ourselves.
Then you might consider that song. I certainly have. You don't need to worry about me. She taps a paw digit on your badge of fire, blazing over your arm. Look at you. I know what that means. You've become a hero.
Yes, well... are you aware of Nezev's offer?
Nezev's offer to yourselves?
Yes.
Are you coming?
It seems he wants the Ember Blade, and... frankly, I'm not sure I trust him.
So capable of making your own decisions.
I just... I'm not sure about this one.
Very tall Leonin. Well, make a persuasion check, please. The very tall Leonin bends her knees and somewhat squats. In my life, there are many people that have come to us for commissions, and what they're on about, they always babble about their plans, about what they want to do, about what they learned, especially while I'm painting them, or while I'm painting their subject. There are a couple unfortunate individuals that were the last people I've painted. And before they died, they were babbling about something of an Emberblade, so I'm not unfamiliar with it. If it were up to me... It's not up to me. Never mind. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say... I know what that blade's destiny is. And the answer to my question is what comes out of it. I want to paint what it releases. I suppose I can say that now that now that we're alone. There's something in there.
But that's...
Are you going to take it there for me?
Pastiche takes a deep breath. So, if indeed subjects you paint all perish, if this is not some cruel coincidence, then what? Why? What happens after you paint this one?
And I find out the real answer. The artistic reality of what art imitates. You see, it's a complex subject. Aeons have gone by. Peoples have argued over art. They've attempted to define it, redefine it, all in an attempt to describe it. Art can bring things to reality, depictions of worlds nobody could even fathom. Fancy clothing, jewelry, people would certainly never be able to afford. I can put fiction to canvas through pure imagination, and it becomes as real as that desert wolf that just bowled you over. I want to know. And then once I learn, well... well then there's a future, one way or another. Don't you want to know too?
Well, to be honest, you have piqued my curiosity.
You can find that answer without working with Nezev Monaco.
That may be true, but Nezev is certainly powerful and certainly wealthy. I would hasten to imagine that things would only go much more smoothly.
Pastiche draws the Ember Blade, just kind of holds it out.
There's something I want to paint. He's given me the materials, the finest materials. He's given me anything I've ever asked for, really. My time away, time here.
I understand, Vera.
I dare say this will be my greatest masterpiece.
If you truly are satisfied with your position here, I won't interfere, but when you do paint your masterpiece, I would like to be there to see it. One way or another.
There's a surefire way that you would be there.
But I can't let go of this blade. Not yet. I'm honestly not even entirely sure why, but it's what my heart tells me.
Make a persuasion check.
No.
You want to use your thingy?
You do have a thingy.
Do you want?
Yep,
Yeah.
You have several thingies.
Oh yeah?
Phoenix blessing.
8 of them, one might say.
That is true.
You see Vera stand as these words leave her mouth. Are you gonna use or are you gonna let that rock?
We're gonna let the 5 rock.
Okay. She stands and looks at Makayla, appraising you. Looks around the doorway to see Twig and Chuman peeking in, and looks back at Pastiche. Vera leans in, her body like getting close to yours, and she cranes her neck down to speak in a very quiet voice, and whispers, more like mutters. It's a very quiet mutter, so only just a Pastiche. Glad you've made friends. And then she moves to your other side of the head, then mutters in a somber voice. You haven't painted it in a while. She backs up.
How do you... How do you know that?
She sits back next to her easel, takes a paintbrush, swishes it around in the water. Puts the bristles in her muzzle and sucks the water off. Then points the paintbrush at your claws.
I see. Well, we've been quite busy, you understand. And frankly, I've been more focused on finding you.
You're sure you're not going to work with Nezev Monaco? She says after a long pause. Why don't you give up that old thing? Paint with me again. I've learned a few things I could teach you. Can enhance your method. That old thing away.
That's quite the tempting offer, Vera, but I believe I've found a purpose with these folks, and it comforts me to know that you're safe here. I would love to join you, but I think we have very important things to take care of.
Are you leaving so soon then?
Pastiche takes a small step back. If it wouldn't bother you, I do believe so.
It was pleasant seeing you again, Pastiche. I'm sorry that I do wish that you would take up your apprenticeship again. But you know, I've always been stubborn. I think this is the way to... What am I trying to say? I think this is the way forward for me. And I thought that you would have an alternate path, but it seems like this one would still be the best way forward. Do you remember the first thing you said to me when you showed up on my doorstep?
I'm not certain I do.
She stops mid-stroke. You can see her muzzle countenance that was a flat smile just go flat.
And what's flat, it goes flat?
Oh, like flatter. Disembodied voice.
Mhm.
Only the best.
Her countenance goes more stony, and she looks down for a moment. Then she resumes painting whatever vibrant masterpiece she is working on. And as you stand there in the drafty doorway with Makayla behind you and your other companions looking around, waiting for trying to spy Nazev, there's just the flat voice of Vera, the vibrant maestro, saying, I want to paint.
Vera, I don't want to leave on bad terms. I must say I do trust your judgment. It's just, I believe we walk different paths now. And thank you, really, for everything you've done for me. It's because of you that I can walk this path. So, I hope this divergence doesn't disappoint you.
She looks over at you with a little head tilt, and repeats herself with the emphasis placed in a different portion of the sentence. I want to paint.
Then I'll leave you to it.
I'm happy for you.
Pastiche will just slowly back out of the door.
As Makayla's been sort of standing there, just observing her, could I do a insight check to see if she's like truly means her words, or is like she has a sense of there's more to kind of.
So like, are you
Like-
like observing her?
Like I'm observing her. Yeah, I've just been like standing, behind Pastiche, just kind of like trying to get a sense of this woman.
Okay. Go ahead and roll insight. Yeah.
It's like
As Pastiche is coming out.
natural one. Oh, nothing. Never mind.
I'd say to Andy, quietly at least. Sure, you and her your paths are intertwined with the blade. At least I'm sure you'll meet again anyway.
Pastiche will whisper back that's what I'm counting on, yes. Honestly, it breaks my heart to just leave, but something's just not right here.
And if it were, I believe this is not the place for us to make a change, at least for now.
Certainly not the time to force one anyway.
Makayla, as you're lingering in the room, watching Vera as she paints, her ear twitches in your direction. She looks over. I expect to see him soon. I'll race you. I'll choose the slow and steady variant.
Well, you will see the Phoenix, but it will not be under Nazeb Monaco's control. Know that despite being someone obviously very dear to Pastiche, if you do stand in our way and try and stop us in Cyril, I at least will not hesitate. And Makayla just leaves with that.
As Pastiche says, it's not time to force anything. Twig's gonna angrily step in the room. So you're just gonna let them walk out the door then? And play your lot in with Monaco instead? How do you expect to paint without a heart?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh shit, it's going through.
Another interruption? Oh. Hello. What do you mean?
Do you think the best paints or lining your pockets with gold will make your paintings come to life?
The best paint, surely, but gold, no. Why loose your venom on me? I have laid my heart bare before Pastiche, my dulcet apprentice. I think your anger is misplaced. The communication between artists, especially one of master and apprentice, is not one with words. It's with pictures. It's with what isn't said. It's what is translated between all the things that we show each other. You showed me a lot. I've showed him everything. You might be... perhaps schedule along, you might be being left behind. Catch up with your group. Before you make another misunderstanding, that might be bad.
And all your fancy paints that you get from Monaco aren't as valuable as the bonds that you make. And Twig steps away.
Before you step away, she'll reply to you. You think our bond is broken? Just from that you've mocked me once, don't do it again.
I don't think Twig would reply to that.
Did any of you happen to see where Mr. Monaco wandered off?
Yes. He was actually headed towards the painting that we had passed.
Should we follow, or...?
You hear footsteps. Clomp, clomp, clomp.
From over here?
From coming from the hallway, yeah.
Okay.
Nazev Monaco, the merchant prince, turns around the corner. And upon seeing you all in the hallway, opens his arms. Ah! You've come to meet me? Why? I'm not used to such warm treatment from my I guess it's usually the other way around. Well, tackling a difficult task together, is there a worthier endeavor? Especially so in a world as small as this. Big smile, bright eyes at you.
Mr. Monaco, welcome back.
Great! Yes, thank you. Glad to be back, certainly. So, I've certainly offered my deal towards you, and made accommodations for your extra requests. Surely we have a deal, and you would like to work together.
While you have been very gracious, and truly I appreciate the opportunity to speak with Vera, I'm not certain. Well, I'm just not sure I'm ready to let go of the Emberblade.
Playing hardball, eh? No worries. I am a bit taken aback, though. I've been fairly clear in the pitch. I've been more than accommodating. What can I possibly do more to build your trust? I only have your best interests in mind. He looks over the group. Probably about this time, your Wildfire spirit floops out of existence. It's been an hour.
And Chuman's just kind of leaning on the wall. Not really paying attention to Nazev's words.
Is there more you wish for? Any wants? Any possibility I could sweeten this deal? Money, fame, women, men? Created by credit?
Thank you, but no, I don't believe my desires are material at this point. You see, I've learned a lot about myself traveling with this group, and well, I trust them far more than I will ever trust you, I believe. Not
He grabs his chest. You wound me. Oh. Stumbles a bit.
really.
That maybe you'll kill him with that.
I mean, no offense. It's just
Takes 8d10 damage. Sorry, I didn't mean to break them. Go ahead.
We've been through a lot, you see, and we have an important job to do.
Make a persuasion check. With advantage.
I'll probably use that.
Nazev hears the quiver in your voice. The confidence that starts out on a high shelf and then goes into shakiness. He takes a deep breath. Well, I certainly would like to discuss this more at length, but you were very late. I'm afraid I must let you go this evening. I have an experiment to carry out, a co-worker to to work with. And a busy day tomorrow. Shall I escort you out, or would you find your own way? He smiles and grins at the second half of the sentence, or... He trails off. It's certainly been a pleasure talking with you. But I'm afraid I must say, chitty bye. So, chitty bye, and he waves. Would escort you out, or I'd call the butler myself, but I really must be going. I am just being pulled in every which way direction. I'm afraid... Oh, I'm afraid they're not here right now, but I'm sure Shoes is somewhere about. Surely he'll find you before you get eaten by a grue or something. Goodbye, and see you again. So long. Perhaps we'll meet under more amicable terms, workable terms, yes? I wait for that day. And he goes down and trots down the stairs. Clop, 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 clop.
Amicable, yes.
I somehow doubt it will be anywhere near that. Looks to Pastiche. Are you doing okay?
I'm fine, really. I didn't get the answers I wanted, but they were the answers I needed, I think.
I am sorry that things were not as you had hoped, but I guess thank you for, well, Kayla kind of smiles, I suppose believing in us.
Yes, well, I wouldn't be able to if you hadn't believed in me.
Come on, let's leave this cursed mansion. We have a busy day tomorrow as well.
Pastiche will sort of nudge Twig's shoulder. Well, if we don't have an escort on the way out, Pastiche will start down the hall. May as well take what we came for.
I suppose you may.
As you turn around the corner, you see an invisible pair of glasses at desktop height, and you see this painting invisibly being adjusted and placed back on the wall.
What are my spell slots looking like? Oh.
The glasses turn around, like, oh, there you are. Meeting concluded, eh? Here, I'll take you back down to the foyer.
Shoes, how nice of you to join us.
Yep, that's me. You guys are kind of weird. But come on, let's go. glasses move down towards the stairwell.
Pastiche's eyes sort of dart around
This way, this
as
way.
the glasses pass by. Hmm. Yes, of course. Wouldn't want any more mishaps. Pastiche will look to Twig. Next time.
Twig will motion towards the pair of glasses and say, "Lead the way."
So the pair of glasses, invisibly, well, not invisibly, the pair of glasses float towards the stairwell, leading down and up, but they turn around and wait for you to join them. Come on.
I, for one, am ready for leaving this crazy mansion.
Where did I just go? What did I just do?
You went west.
They're gone. Wait, which way is he going? The shoes?
Yeah.
Or the pair of glasses?
This way.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
There's a main stairwell that has been avoided throughout the throughout the excursion that you are now being taken down.
Classic.
How it goes, always.
Twig will step over to Pastiche and quietly whisper, "Are you sure this is something you want to wait on? There might not be a next time."
Pastiche nonchalantly waves. I'll make it next time. Continues down the hall.
There's some grunting, bouts of frustration, metal rattling. Why is it locked? I can't stand it when people keep walking, think they know it's too hot for me. Then you see the glasses come, and they push past you, and they start going in the other direction. Leading you back to the stairwell past the corridor that you came up to the second floor on. This way, this way. We can't go that way. The boss locked it.
Feels like another set of antics, but sure.
We're right behind you.
Yep. You follow the glasses, just bump, 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 bump. Pastiche, as you walk past the door to Vera's double room, you feel a couple wet spots flick into the back of your head, and then you turn around to look, and then you see just in time the door closing.
Oh. Pastiche is gonna feel at the wet spot.
Okay. When you go and touch the wet spot, it is the texture of paint. Unmistakable. And when your claws impact the paint, you are thrust into a painting.
Oh.
A mind painting, if you will. Of you years ago working on a random landscape of your own. And the magic shows you they're coming up behind you and squeezing your shoulder. No words. And then the magical scene dissipates.
Pastiche, of course, stops for a moment while this happens. Rubs at the shoulder that Barra squeezed in the past. Takes a deep breath, continues down the hall.
As you maneuver yourselves down the stairs and reach the first floor landing, what is the marching order? Not really marching order, but like what order are you arriving at the steps?
Makayla's trying to get out of here as soon as possible, so she's definitely towards the front.
Makayla's first.
Pastiche is not walking quickly.
Okay, Pastiche is far in the back.
Chuman would be shortly after.
Twig is kind of loath to leave the painting behind, so he's also walking slowly.
Alright, Makayla, you are the first to reach the ground floor behind the pitter-patter of the glasses that allows shoes to see, but nobody can see shoes. Bad news.
Mm-hmm.
You are not alone. Ahead of you, on the bottomless pit that you are currently walking on, is a taxidermy rug in the shape of a bear, its head pointed towards you. What would you like to do? Chuman, you see this as well as you come down the stairs. And then later, Twig and Pastiche as you wander down.
Makayla would say to Shoes, well, go on. So how deal with this potential mishap?
Make a persuasion check.
That's performance. 17.
A 17 is pretty good. Alright, you watch the glasses move forward to the next to the bear rug. See them tilt down. Stay. Let these people pass. We've had enough of them. They probably taste bad. They're smelly. You don't want that.
Twig sort of like side-eyes him at that.
Look, what I tell him doesn't matter. What matters is that you do not get eaten by a bear rug. Alright, and then as you make it to the entrance over the bottomless pit, open the door actually opens for you, and you are back into the cool night air of Zozo, the capital of Durlusk, on the continent of Khorzaire.
Yay.
What would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
Chuman is gonna look up in the sky to kind of like get an idea of how late it is.
Roll. I think that's survival or nature, whichever one you want. It is late. It's like 11 midnight, 1 in the morning.
Seems that we've been in Zeph's mansion for quite a while. Should make it back since we have the morning to spend with the Raven.
For one, I'm just happy that we're no longer in that stupid mansion. I believe let's head back to the academy. We have some form of dorms set up for us, I believe.
I could certainly use some rest.
I think you deserve some. Makayla. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, by the way, all of you, for accompanying me. I'm not sure things would have gone so well if I were alone.
Wow.
Think nothing of it.
We're in this together. All of this. So, it was our pleasure to be there, even just for support.
It is much appreciated.
Journey is, well, it's a lot harder to do it alone. Okay, that kind of gets a little, not like you can tell she gets her face gets a little saddened, but quickly kind of recomposes herself.
Speaking of, we've left Xalia waiting quite long enough.
Oh, I'm sure we left her in one of the largest seats of knowledge on the continent. I'm sure she's, spent the night looking into this and that and causing various sorts of mischief. But we should return, yes. Remember, just have the, desire to go to Zozo Academy in your head and walk in a direction, I guess. Or, I suppose. And Makayla just starts walking.
Okay.
Pastiche is gonna follow pretty close behind Makayla, trying not to get lost in their own thoughts.
You definitely make it back pretty easily to Shreka's secretary desk. She greets you. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
I made
And
beds for you.
very much appreciated. And thank you for waiting to this late hour for us. We did not intend.
Sorry.
We did not intend to be cut up for so long.
You can see she's got a small candle and has been writing with a quill, smoke filling the room. I had some late work to do anyway. No problem. I don't usually end up asleep until around an hour from now anyway.
Well, then, I'm glad we didn't inconvenience you. Is Xalia already gone to sleep? Do you know?
Her and the Merchant King both, out like a light. Shall I show you to your rooms?
That would be great. Thank you.
Certainly. This way. She brings you towards a hallway of just some unmarked plain doors and opens one and tilts her head, gestures inside. Here you are. Inside is a quaint little room. It's got a tall circular desk with 2 seats pushed up in next to it. It's got a coat rack, a open walk-in closet with a mirror on the door, 2 queen beds, a smaller table with a smaller school chair for it, and there is a table between the beds with a candle in a lantern above it hanging. There's a large mirror on the wall opposite of the beds.
Wow, this is more than we could ask for. I very much appreciate your hospitality.
Certainly. I always enjoy preparing what I can for the latest exam passers. Once again, don't worry about keeping me up. I'm one of the largest suppliers and consumers. Sorry, not suppliers. Consumers of midnight oil in Zozo.
Well, then I suppose we'll let you get back to your work.
Right. See you in the morning. Enjoy your sleep.
Good night.
Good night, Makayla. Coughing smoke out of her muzzle, she lets you all to your own devices and closes the door and buggers off. 4 of you are now alone.
Makayla just quickly gets herself ready and would go to sleep. Or at least, lay down on a bed.
As people are sort of winding down, Pastiche will approach Twig. Twig, by the way, I heard what you said to Vera.
Twig. Twig looks down and just says, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, really. I understand. She can be quite curt, but whatever brought her here, it was not greed. I assure you.
You know her better than I do, I'm sure. I trust you.
And I trust her.
For what it's worth, I think you made the right decision. Thank you, Pastiche.
I think you're right. Pastiche would find a corner to retire to for the night.
Okay.
And same with Twig.
Chuman, anything that you're up to before you head to sleep?
No. I think he'd probably just think a little to himself. While he's kind of like on the ground leaning against the wall. Since Chuman doesn't sleep in a bed lately. But then he would fall asleep afterwards.
Okay. Alright. You all are embraced by the soft arms of sleep. A full day, mentally taxing, physically taxing on each of you. Including party not present.
Yeah, totally. It was the worst day of Xalia's life.
No, that mentally taxing, studying, and all that kind of stuff. Xalia had a terrible day.
Be worse, you know?
As you rejuvenate your energy, dreams flitting behind your eyes, and are gently caressed by the minutes of morning. There's another day in Zozo. And you all managed to make your way to each other. Ready for a new day. What would you like to do? As you are joined with Xalia, each with your own differing tales and experiences of the evening. You know you have a plan ahead of you. Twig and Pastiche blink the stars out of their eyes. Makayla and Chuman wipe the eye crusties out of their mouths, out of their eyes. Xalia glides up to the four glide up to Xalia, and you are rejoined, your party, now 5 strong. You have made plans with the rest of the day, but in the present, ...
Xalia just kind of... No, I need to think about this more. I haven't... There will be things happening.
Xalia seems thinking
He's
already.
scheming.
I mean, Xalia was under the impression that we'd be kind of first thing in the morning trying to go to the top of the academy. So I guess she'd be trying to get on that.
You all look at Makayla.
At least get that going.
Was Alma supposed to join us? Do we just make our way to the ruse ourselves?
Xalia shrugs.
I thought we needed
Sure.
some sort of chaperone, even without her, or even with the library cards.
I'm pretty sure the Raven was going to escort us.
Yes, that was the impression I had. Xalia, have you seen him?
I don't know, have I seen him?
Let's see. You woke up. The Merchant King was nowhere to be seen.
Hmm. Then she's gonna shake her head. Just kind of shrug.
As you extricated yourself from the piles of books. No, there was no feather nor trinket of the magical raven.
Well then, do you believe that they're meeting us at the front?
Either way, it would be prudent to ask Shreka.
Yes. Hopefully they aren't busy themselves either. Tries to find. Surely they would just be at their desk, right?
Unless you know a better place to start.
Slash me heads to Shika's front desk.
You head to the place, but before that, everybody can click their long rest button.
Oh,
My experiment worked. I only went up to 7 hit dice.
Oh yeah, long rest for all those resources I used.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, just gamble the right.
I think you used a
Man.
bunch before the team headed over to the mansion.
Yeah, you might have used like a bunch of spells like just on the airship.
Yeah, that was the same day. Long.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody follows the restless Makayla. Wants to get on with it. You end up out of the rooms. You go down the hallway corridor, and you turn around to meet Shreka at her desk, still smoking. The candle is also still smoking. The candle has been reduced to smoking. Quill's still in her hand, or has returned to her hand. You're not quite sure. if she slept, but she greets you all the same. Looks up, the lizard crest behind her kind of wobbles. Good morning, everyone. Did you sleep well, or was it restful? No boogeymen in the night, or errant magic affecting you?
I certainly couldn't expect to sleep any better.
None of you exploded.
Is that something that normally...
Should we have?
No, I just like to ask very specific things to spook people.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
She smiles. Well, I take it you're ready to go then, to the archives. The Great Library. We has many names, we make one up every time.
Yes. I think trying to get this, done as early in the day as possible is probably for the best.
Certainly. There are many early birds with knowledge. A couple of people already went in, students mostly. The Merchant King will see you as well. He is at the entrance waiting for you.
Thank you. Then I suppose we shouldn't keep that early bird waiting.
I'm happy you catch my drift. This way. She takes you around to a large study. The study has rows and rows of bookshelves, mahogany wood floors covered in a blue carpet. There's a large writing desk in the middle, and behind it is a open door. You can see this telltale warbling in it, especially Xalia, who has seen such a thing beforehand, of this invisible perimeter that keeps those who do not have permission or have not expressed that they seek knowledge from entering further, lest they fall astray. Standing in front of it, all less than a foot high on the ground, is the Merchant King, almost Noma. Shrinkon in front of you. Bird on the ground. Yes, hello! Welcome! Took you long enough. Been waiting here for an undetermined amount of time.
How early is it in the day?
Make a nature check. Or survival, whichever one. It is not morning. Sorry, it is... I said that completely wrong. Oh my goodness, I said an entirely different sentence. The sun has not yet reached its zenith. It's about, like... It's almost there. Like, you took a look. It's between 8 and 11:30. A 22. It's like 10:30.
Okay. Okay, Sean. Apologies, we ended up getting stuck in our arrangement for longer than we expected.
Make a deception
Not
check.
get back till pretty late. Is this a deception check?
Is it?
I don't think Makayla's trying to deceive. This is just kind of how she defuse the situation.
Alright.
Or the bird doesn't
roll
fit.
flat charisma. The bird's eyeballing you.
Persuasion. Or persuasion or charisma?
Deception or persuasion, whichever one it is.
Alright, 20, yeah, 26.
22. Okay.
26 is in the persuasion.
The bird clacks its beak and, like, bows a bit and then raises back on its talons, listens to the rest of your tale. Continue, sorry. I saw the opportunity for a gag, but the dice said no.
Oh.
Continue.
Sorry. No, it's just... We didn't get back to, the rooms you arranged for us, which, by the way, thank you for. Until, well, deep into the night.
Yes, well, rest is necessary when you are learning all so much. Your mind cannot take it all at once. You see, it overwhelms.
Tell me about it.
Well, I can tell you about it, but we had... I'm sorry, what? I am overwhelmed! What a funny word! Overwhelmed! Overwhelmed! Well, the bird
Overwhelmed, yes. Don't worry about it.
claps its beak up and faces the ceiling. Overwhelmed! Overwhelmed!
Yes,
So
I'm
happy
sure
about
that.
this.
Yes, I'm sure Makayla, I'm sure Xalia and you have had a grand time.
Yes, I'll have you know Xalia is the perfect student. Attentive, listens, questions, learns. I dare say that I would venture to say that you all could learn a thing or two from her. Especially about research. Why, we spent all night learning about Khorzaire, learning about the many legends across the land, learning history, learning about all sorts of things that will aid us in our endeavors. We climbed the tower! And what have you done? Where were you? Not studying.
Is there like a bauble on his desk, by the way? Of any kind?
You said a bauble?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a there's a little pearlescent thing. It's round with 2 gold studs on the end. There's and like a little chain hanging from it.
Okay. He's gonna like reach out for it.
Okay.
Like tenderly look at him like, can I?
What is your... Yeah, you get it.
Okay. She's gonna pick it up. And then she's gonna cast a movable object. Like, hold it up, cast a movable object. Going off.
Okay, so what happens? You watch as Xalia displays her might in front of you all. And this bauble, this little trinket that she plucks from the desk and sets it in front of you all, it doesn't move. She sets it and forgets it, by golly. So there is this little trinket hanging in the air, defying gravity.
Twig is gonna try to pull it down.
Make a strength check.
These are my specialty.
Twig, you reach up and grab this bauble in your talons, and you grunt with exertion with your might. You all watch as you can see Twig's arm, the muscles kind of bulge as Twig is certainly sparing no effort trying to pull this down. Twig, you end up pulling yourself up, and you are now hanging from this bobble, from this point in the air.
Oh, I'm sorry to say, but our night was not. Well, it wasn't nearly as fun as I imagine you and Xalia's was.
I assure you it was quite productive, though.
Productive and informative.
A likely story. Well, I dare say this will be even more productive and informative for you. Of course, why else would you seek out the great Merchant King almost Sonoma himself? That's me, mind you. Now then, let us venture where not many can venture. Into the heart of the library. That's this way, you understand.
Well, I suppose. Are we going to the heart, or technically it would be like the head, the top of the head? No, trying to get on to the top of it, right?
The raven
Roof.
transfixes you with a gaze and squawks at you. I'll have no talk back.
Oh. Okay. Your Grace. Just musing to myself, I suppose.
The bird flies up to Twig's hand, where he's still hanging from the trinket, from the bauble, and lands on Twig's hand so he can get eye level with Makayla. Bird looks at you. Do you want to be... I'm not so sure that you are enjoying yourself. Do you truly seek knowledge? Do I have to take your library card back?
Makayla gets suddenly pretty serious.
Why
Or
are
like
you
a
here?
pretty serious countenance. Nervous, and so like I have said this before, but I alone, or speaking for myself specifically, I am here for my task. Not the academic. Not for any academic reasons, Your Grace.
Make a charisma check. Just charisma.
Okay. An 8.
Alright, the DC was 10.
Oof.
The bird looks at you, unfazed, unfrazzled, and then turns around on top of Twig's hands, and then flaps off. Maybe we'll check out an etiquette book for you while we're here. Now, come along, everyone. Are you ready? Are you prepared for the most exciting adventure of knowledge?
Before we go...
Xalia is nodding extremely enthusiastically.
Before we go, Pastiche motions to the bauble that's just floating in the air. This is... Xalia, this is the result of a single night of study.
He thumbs up.
Your Grace,
Yes? The bird slowly turns around. Bobbs his head.
I may be convinced to stay an extra night or two.
A sudden change of heart. Marvelous!
But of course, our task comes first. Carry on.
Yes. Yes, marvelous. This is what simple result of research and learning will do when you present it to others. Shreka, write that down! Shreka is not within earshot. But the Raven tests his wings, opens them to their impressive, like 1 foot wingspan, then folds them again. Now then, let's not tarry any longer. We certainly have our work cut out for us. Some dirty job ahead. I will remind you all that it is embarrassing to admit that we haven't cleaned this place in a while. We were busy, you see. I was doing research out and was commissioned to build the vessel by Khorzaire, Raincaller, and Shreka was busy, and all of we don't have a janitor, so I suppose what I am trying to say is, do not be alarmed.
Can't afford a janitor here.
What I'm trying to say is, do not be alarmed, and if anything goes awry, if there's wild magic around, do not be surprised. And if it tries to hurt you, hurt it back. It's magic, you can't hurt it. But you can certainly show it who's boss. That's you, hopefully. If we encounter any living spells, we'll simply beat the arcane juice out of it, and it will fizzle out. If you encounter any weird creatures, then just give them a big ol' mean glare. Surely they'll leave you alone. Watch out for the giant fish, and let's see.
Always gotta watch out for that fucking fish.
Many other things. I'll remember them as we traverse. Let's go. Oh, present your library cards. Do you all have them with you? That's important. Or you won't be able to come along on this field trip. Field trip. Field trip. Field trip. What a fun word. Field trip.
As Oma Sonoma is mumbling to himself, you would happen to at least inform us of how to deal with these trouble should we run into them?
Yes, the normal way. Surely you know the normal way, being an explorer of some renown.
Yes,
an
of course.
Accomplished adventurer.
Twig just holds his library card aloft and says, "Field trip."
Field trip.
Field trip.
Field trip.
Chuman just holds his card up. Doesn't say anything.
Pastiche shuffles through a couple bags, pulls out a few pieces of parchment. Shuffles a bit more. Here it is. Pulls your library card up.
Field trip.
Field trip.
Field trip. Alright, well. Everything seems to be in order. I will approve you for the chaperone-only section. That would be further onwards and upwards from here, but I might as well do it now while magic is easy. The bird clacks its beak, adjusts the trinket that it's holding, and there is a bright flash that swipes across your library cards. And briefly chars it for a bit. It looks like there's a flourished fancy checkmark. And then the Raven, also known as the Merchant King Almost Noma, takes a couple hops past the archway and into the portal. You can see him on the other side. His form kind of warbly as the portal, as the field on the portal distorts his appearance. He takes another couple hops forward, and then see him turn around, crane his neck, and waits for you. You hear something.
Caleb would follow after him.
Sounds like fun.
Pastiche is going to pause and take a good look at the portal itself.
Okay, make a perception or investigation check. Definitely
investigation.
You investigate the portal.
Solid 24.
That's pretty solid. It is a portal. In the literal sense of the world, otherwise known as a door or an archway that leads to another place. It has this invisible, soapy look on it, and you can see it ever moves as someone passes through it. Makayla walks past you, just into it, and there's a brief arcane splash of magical energy. It coalesces over a form, just kind of like a film. She walks forward unperturbed. It is certainly magical, and you are reminded of many other similar devices in Zozo and elsewhere. It is cool to the touch, like lukewarm actually. Sorry, not cool. It's lukewarm. It immediately, like you poke your claw into it, it immediately, like it doesn't resist you at all. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
As you hold your library card, you can see the library card give off like an arcane flash as well as you mess with it. It appears that it resonates with your permission slip. The archway itself is adorned. It goes up with a gray stone archway that's really fancy. It comes out with kind of like a bill and like a hat bill sort of, but it comes out with a bill, and the bill itself has a hole in it. It's just a round hole, not really anything fancy here, but towards the top of the archway there's it almost looks like it has shoulder pads, but they're spiked shoulder pads. They kind of fly away and turn into a neat little like typically arcane, looks like a really old structure. It looks like they made this on purpose to look extremely wizard-like.
Okay. Pastiche is going to start walking towards the portal before walking into their own notably inkier portal and attempting to step out on the other side.
This makes the DM look up some rules. Hang on a second. What would everyone else like to do while I decide how to kill Pastiche?
I think Chuman is just following without much regard. He's just following the Raven's orders for the most part.
Yeah, Twig is following Pastiche.
Oh my goodness. Why did you kill yourself?
Uh-oh. I was just curious. I'm just here to learn.
You're not a kid.
Yeah, stuck in the void now. Oh no.
Alright, roll Arcana. And hope you get a good result.
I mean, I'm very good at these, so...
Yeah.
What's a 20 get me?
20 gets you half. Alright, you take 7 force damage.
Okay.
As you try to teleport past this barrier and you slam into it.
Oops.
You begin moving and just you slam in forcefully hard, like your nose does the cartoony scrunch into your face, and then you are stopped immediately, hard and short, by an arcane unseen force. You're slammed back out of your transposition and you fall on your bottom with enough force, springing you backwards, that you do a somersault backwards. From the other side, the Merchant King Almost Sonoma sees you do this and says,
Same.
Makayla and
Chuman.
Makayla and Chuman will hear, you can't teleport through a demi-plane. There's a certain magical resistance. That's how we keep it safe.
Oh boy.
Pastiche is going to... I mean, they tumble, but they catch themselves. They stand up relatively quickly and trot through the portal as normal.
Xalia, you see this spectacle.
Once they're on the other side, they'll just say to Alma, checking, making sure your defenses aren't pregnable.
I'm curious, what did you think the library cards are for? Aside from, all of the other purposes that I've explicitly told you that they perform.
Well, I assumed they were for keeping intruders out.
Well,
Merely assumed they were identification.
at least you aren't incinerated. That would certainly send us off the rails and doing something else tonight.
Oh, don't worry, I wouldn't run an experiment I couldn't handle.
Certainly. So, Pastiche, do you understand what just happened, or shall I inform you?
Well, for the sake of everyone else here, why not give us your explanation?
Yes. And certainly, I've heard that one before, Pastiche. How many students do you think I've had? You see, okay, I shall explain. So, all of the chaperone areas that require library cards are enshrouded in a particular film that causes you to briefly transport to and then immediately from a sort of demiplane. The library card there checks your authorizations and proves that you are a seeker of knowledge, but grants you access through the demiplane. It's sort of like a book thing. You know, like you open a book and then you close it.
Right, naturally.
Naturally. Naturally. Naturally. Naturally. Now then. No more funny business. Let's go. So, Ranger King Alma Sonoma brings the group through a library. There... Oh, sorry. Get this music out of here. If a school is a temple of knowledge, then surely this is what can only be described as nirvana of knowledge. Books by the hundred, by scrolls by the thousands, stuff each rank of these shelves. There's floating lights like ghosts of lanterns that bob through the shelves and the stacks. All sorts of any kind of tome, pedestal, reading utensil are here. There are plenty of kind of like rentable reading glasses. As you walk through and you walk further and further, you see less and less people that...
I can't hear anything if anyone's talking.
Oh no, I'm talking.
Oh.
Twig! Can you hear me? Hello?
I have been muted. I can hear Accel.
Yeah, same.
Through the portal, no.
Oh no, we lost Twig! Twig's been Twig's been eaten by a grue!
Twig is lost in the astral plane.
He did go after you. When you made your
The Raven looks around. Where is Twig? Oh no, I told him not to wander off.
Xalia shapeshifts into Twig, but with like no eyes.
Oh, there you are.
He's back.
Welcome back.
Maybe? Can you hear us now? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Cannot. Is your little bar, is it red now? Is it yellow? Is it green? Does it say voice connected? Are you trying to establish the pathways? Oh no, Twig's having sound issues on Discord. That's no good. Yeah, just unplug it and plug it back in. Yeah, so simply kill Dixord.
Mhm.
All right,
Easy.
we'll wait for a moment while we locate our Kenku. And I'll pause the
He's still in
recording.
the astral plane.
Don't forget to unpause the recording. We're live. Let's see here. So, oh, you know what? I forgot something important. I forgot to make you guys exist. Let's
All
see.
in the astral plane.
Yeah, right now you're on some kind of like weird funky plane. Where is
just
Alma?
casually explaining the library cards.
Yeah. Okay, here we are. Now we're back for real. So as you... Where were we? So as you move forward, there are less and less people that are milling around. And as you are taken to the deeper archives and you crest your first flight of stairs. The bookshelves are still here, and the scroll cases are still lining every wall. They're still standing in ordered rows throughout this, high vaulted nave. Ahead of you is a smokeless white flame that's flickering coldly within a decorative, you assume it's decorative, plant and on a little kind of dais of grass. And you know that now the adventure truly begins.
Wait, we might illusion smoke for it.
Suddenly you all watch, and their smoke comes from this flame wafting quietly up. And if this is the first floor, you begin imagining how many more floors there are, and an elf such as yourself, Makayla, could spend several lifetimes studying under this brilliant white light and never read the same page twice as you maneuver through more and more bookshelves and more tomes of any topic and subject. You hear, you pass by a few people talking to themselves, muttering the words on the pages. You can see some bookshelves that seem encased in ice. You can see some bookshelves that are wrapped in vines. There is a bookshelf that seems to be burning with fire, or at least wreathed in flames, but not actually burning. You hear and see more wonders of knowledge in books and tomes and such. Everybody give me perception checks.
I'm so good at these.
Oh no. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, not a chance. Alright. As you're being led by this bird who is hopping in front of you, they'll take a couple hops and waddle a step, or two, or three, or five, and then they'll take another hop, looking around, providing some sort of tour guide action as the merchant king himself leads you forward through this mad jungle of knowledge. Twig, Chuman, and Makayla, while you're focused on your guide, your gaze looks around every so often, and you see a pair of beady red eyes gaze at you, blink, and then duck behind the bookshelves. And that happens every so often, every once in a while. And then it's like you turn your head, you see this pair of solid color red eyes, and then they duck away.
They change their eye color to red.
Xalia, you don't see these. But you
Oh,
change your eye
fucked up.
color to red all the same, probably.
I mean, probably not, given that it was in response. She might start playing with her eye color if people mention it, though.
Yeah, I think to a good mention, did any of you see that? Just behind the bookshelf.
Seems like there's visitors today.
Yes, your visitors.
Are you all alright? I haven't seen anything. Other than us, of course.
Let's see if the bird's paying attention. Oh.
Are you sure that your astral plane didn't bump you on the head too hard?
As I said, I would never run an experiment I couldn't handle.
Well, it may have moved too fast for you to see, but there were a pair of eyes.
I guess it's not up to us to say who should and shouldn't be at the library.
Oh, eyes? What color were they?
Zalia's
Please.
eyes start cycling colors.
Please say red.
Rainbows.
I won't know what to do with or anything but.
What happens if we say red?
Then I explain what phenomena it is.
Then red.
Harmless, don't you worry. Those creatures, they've sort of manifested down here. We call them the copycats. They don't seem to do anything other than make copies of the tomes here. We find them quite helpful, so we keep them unmolested.
I was worried you'd say they were grus or something.
Oh, I'm sure there's some down here, some up here as well.
Of course there are.
Any place that is dark and... Oh, I shudder to think. Keep your wits about you. The bird flops and flies over to the center. And if you see any title that strikes your fancy, by all means, we're here on research, not just a walking tour. Flap, 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 and leads you across the hall.
I think you can go ahead.
But
I think Twig would just take a quick scan of the books, looking for anything that seemed like unusual or interesting.
Okay, that's a perception check.
Chuman is going to do the same. He's just walking, I guess, a longer way around. Kind of eyeing to see if there's anything out of place. And also if there's any interesting books.
Alright, perception check for you too. Let's see, Twig, as you're walking around, heading through the center, you find, like, your eyes lock on to an interesting title that shines. It catches the light from the center plane from the center flame in such a way that you catch it at the right moment. It says, "Findings on the Lord of the Grave."
That seems interesting.
Yeah, grab it. It looks like it's definitely been leafed through, but it seems otherwise in good condition. Looks like it's written in a language you can understand, so that's cool. It has metal hinges and it has a clasp on it.
I think Twig would quickly scan through the pages to see what it was about in general.
Okay. Looks like it gives you advice and tactics against certain types of creatures that are found in areas that are that the morning has encroached upon.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, Zayla.
Okay, I didn't get muted. Yeah, Zalia's looking at shit too.
Okay. Chuman, your book is The Ill-Fated Deeds of the Merchant, a Fate Forfeit. It looks like this book is an account on someone's life written by someone else. Has richly decorated pages.
I think Chuman will keep walking just continue scanning more books.
Okay. Let's see. Xalia, your book. Even with the two, you get something. There's books. You can't not see them. Yours is titled Treatise on the Discourse of the Humans. You look at the back and you get the sum up. It looks like it's a contemporary religious doctrine. It's written. It's like a written body of teachings of a specific religious organization. It looks like it's torn and stained pretty bad.
I don't think she's interested in this.
Regrettably. Twig, you also see pair of beady eyes. They peer at you, and you can see a little bit more of the creature as it's peeking around to where the light from the silver flame illuminates it a little bit. Looks like it has very tall ears where it lacks ear tufts of fur that go on. Instead, it just has little drapes of shadowy tendril that curl in and around, forming a spiral in on itself. Beady eyes, small face, and it appears to have this dread mane, similar to an uncut horse's mane or something like that, where it drapes and falls around its body, obscuring what its form looks like. Looks at you for a moment and then whoosh, zips away.
Twig will shrink away from where it was a little bit, and then maybe leaf through the book to see if there's any mention of a creature that looked like that.
I was gonna say, do I hear it moving behind me?
Let's see. Chuman, you're pretty attentive. What's your passive perception? You probably hear a little.
Chuman probably might turn his head just to look and see. But
there.
Yeah, once he sees nothing, then he goes back to kind of skimming through some books.
Layla's gonna go poke the fire.
You poke the fire. It is as transient and ephemeral as any flame. It is not hot.
Layla's gonna stick her face in the fire.
Xalia, your attempts to your attempts to immolate yourself, unfortunately, bear no fruit. It is definitely a magical fire. You can see all the way down to the bottom that it is actually flaming on a blossom of a flower, a chrysanthemum, and these huge leaves that are curling around are part of the plant.
I have a question of scale. How big is this fire relative to her?
Probably slightly larger than your head.
So you said it's slightly larger than her.
Slightly larger than
She's
your
just
head.
Okay. She's gonna leave her head in it and just flop. Just use it as a pillow.
You all watch as Xalia thrusts her face into this white flame, and then goes limp.
I think Chuman actually doesn't see it because he's behind one of the pillars.
We now know how Xalia's party feels about her, as they make no move and no alarm. What the heck? The raven turns around. Yes, right this way. Oh no! Flap, flap, flap. Flap, flap. Flap, flap. Butler even hops up to Xalia and then like pokes her in the thigh with his beak.
Haley waves at him.
Are you enjoying the continual flame spell?
He gives him a thumbs up.
Be careful, it'll harm your eyes if you stare into it too long, just like any light. Perhaps even more dangerous because of how the magic attenuates with the light around it and dispels the shadows.
Haley is going to just rotate all of her eyes to the front. Like, you can see, like, a swarm of eyes coming around from the back of her face and somewhere on her neck. Comes up to the face of her face now.
Yes, good.
Chuman just looks around from the pillar to see Xalia. And that's just the usual. Xalia is quite alright.
Well. Come along then.
She'll pull herself out and just follow.
As Pastiche makes their way through the room, they're just going to keep an eye out for any books that seem out of place, like something particularly dusty among tomes that are less dusty, something particularly clean among dusty tomes, anything like that.
Okay. Give me a dusty perception check. A 13. Let's see here. Is this dusty enough for you? You locate a book that says "A Day in the Life of a Lemure." It seems like it may be a little more eye-catching than most other mundane books. Looks like it's in good condition. It's a paperback.
Pastiche is going to grab it and open it up to the last page.
The last page? The
The
last
last page.
page is a map to a research facility.
Huh.
It's not labeled, but it is like it is clearly a map and it is clearly some sort of facility. You know what? Sorry, it is labeled. It's labeled research facility. There's a couple rooms labeled like imp area, main area, dretch area.
They'll look at that long enough to like get an okay idea of the layout, and then flip to the first page.
Okay, the first page details a beginner demon or like devil researcher that decided to start their studies on correctly the weakest of all fiend kinds, so they weren't in particular danger. They managed to summon a lemure to a remote location out of the area, and they watched its behavior for a day. They kind of just slurped around, looked like it was in pain the entire time.
No.
And then they hid this hideous abomination in a special containment vessel. And they placed it alongside many other empty ones that would house the many other fiends that they would summon. And before you know it, you've leafed through half this book, learning about what has happened to all these demons and devils that this researcher has conjured into being. And you learn that this research facility has been left abandoned, and and at the end, at halfway on the book, it appears that it's been penned by a different handwriting. And it starts getting weird, and then you put it back.
Would I have gotten a good sense of whether this was a fiction book or not? I'm assuming most books here aren't, but...
Make an insight check.
Okay. There it is.
It's a fiction book.
Cool. We'll carry on.
It's penned by author Willie Make It.
I see.
And proofread by Betty Don't.
Good. Not the kind of thing I'd expect to see in a research institution.
Well, there's all sorts of literature here, I suppose.
Alright, as you continue onward. As everyone continues onward and joins back together, the Raven makes makes its way to the next one. You can feel a subtle presence behind you all. The next hallway, you move through another warbly portal, and you are transported to another magical area of knowledge and research. There's this dusty silence that is now permeating through the area. That the dusty silence breaks into the sound and smell of water, where in the center you can see swimming around are two extremely large, ridiculously huge carp beneath a glass but beneath like a glass aquarium window. Around it is a golden illuminated rune circle, and still like all over the walls is a veritable wallpaper of books and shelves and scrolls. A ladder is leaning against the end of the nearest bookcase with its first three rungs snapped. You still feel this mysterious presence behind you. What would you guys like to do?
With me?
Bird flaps over, lands on top of the glass aquarium. As you peer over, you see these two carp swimming in a circle, looking up.
Xalia's gonna look right back at them and kind of just... She's gonna just pick one of them, which on the black one is here, she's gonna just start like following it around as it swims around. Tap, 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 tap.
The massive carp looks up at you and just does the fish open mouth, just whop, 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 whop.
Xalia mimics it back.
Make an animal handling check. Alright.
Yep.
As this happens, the carp just effortlessly swim around. You hear the sound of the water as it splashes around. You hear the sound of the water as it splashes around. It's suddenly broken by a yelp, and a yelp of pain and a crash of books from on high, from a couple levels, as someone breaks all the rungs on a ladder as they crash down, and you look over and you see a person with curly, poofy hair, like a little gold embroidered brown shawl over them, a pair of compression pants, compression shorts, and a pair of goggles over their eyes. They turn around to look at you, scrolls and pages fluttering everywhere as this mayhem unfolds below you. They say, there's a smile of recognition as they turn around to everybody. Say, this gravelly voice. Oh, is just everybody coming in here now? Hey, everybody. And as you see a familiar face, Mouse stands up, brushes herself off, and walks over to you all. Scrolls stuffed in her belt, and a couple books that she picks up from the ground, and that's where we'll end tonight's session.
She's back.